Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
A whole hour on that back scratcher.
Oh, the places you scratch. Sorry, I'm late, guys. I lost the one thing I need to do this, which is these earphones. The one thing that I could just set down for a week and it will be where I need it to be. But at some point during that week, I fucking moved it. And then I was just like, well, I guess I'll just kill myself because I cannot find.
Right. That's the next go-to. Good.
Yeah. Where were they?
They were in my car.
Interesting. Did you need them in your car?
Well, see, okay. So I have a 2005 iPod.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Yeah, first generation touch. And it only works. It has the
with the regular plug-in.
The regular plug-in, which is
Not
what
with the fancy
is
plug-in.
what my 2020 MacBook Pro also takes. So fuck you, Apple. I love what you've given me, but fuck you a little bit for that. But anyways, so I still use it for my iPod when I go running and if I'm driving for a long time and I don't want to totally pay attention to the road. I just plug those in and I just cruise and I listen to songs I downloaded in 2005.
Yeah.
No.
They're still good, Britt. They're still good.
What were you into? Were you into like Avenged Sevenfold or like?
No. I could never tell.
I mean, that was more revealing about me.
I would like to back up and say what a perfect 2007 reference Avenged Sevenfold was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna top that. I'm not gonna top that. I think I was into all that butthole rock though, like Korn.
Were you
System
into
of a Down? Is Avenged Sevenfold? Is Avenged Sevenfold a Christian band? Like
it seems like they could be.
Yeah, there's like those secret Christian bands that go super fucking hard, and then you find out they're talking about God. And you're like, wait a second, wait a second,
or just like they don't do anything, but like if you see them at a show, they just like start a song, which is like praise God, and then it just fucking opens up, and you're like, hey, whoa, wait, buddy,
hold up,
put this in the liner notes or something.
It's like kind of funny that like with it's like cool. Historically speaking in rock, if you like our devil worshippers, like metal,
right?
But it's like all the Christian rock lyrics are like super similar, where they're just like in praise of him, it's just like they're just talking about the other guy, but it's still that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, just talking about the other guy. Well, maybe I should introduce the podcast. Welcome to Fuck This Place, a podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today, another fantastic guest. She's the creator of #WCW Woman Crush Wednesdays, which is a hybrid event celebrating both feminism and pro wrestling, a very cats and dogs kind of mashup. She's an improver, so as far as I remember, she's a stand-up comic. She does it all. She is with us here today. We have Britt Birrer. Britt, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me on here.
Of course. Couldn't wait to have you.
Yes.
And now we're finally here.
And we're finally here. I'm enjoying this shirt you're wearing. Is this a pro wrestling thing?
Yeah, kind of.
There's
I have
a little nature boy.
A collection of costumes.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah. For those who are listening, we just got to pivot to a line of costuming. I mean, a lot of color there.
It goes on for 40 more feet.
Yeah, got it.
It's like a real junior college theater production amount of costumes.
But yes, nailed it.
I think that, I'm a huge fan of we just put together this 9th grade play aesthetic.
Huge
fan. I mean, not of you specifically, Britt. I just mean like for me in general. I enjoy participating. Man, I did not mean to own you that hard.
Yeah.
I really
generally speaking, Chase loves 9th graders. Generally speaking.
Well, I like it when they're acting.
When they're acting, yeah. Oh man,
if they're doing a good job.
The best part of any kind of like a high school or junior college play is like how limited of age range they have of actors. So it's just like a 19-year-old playing like the chief of police.
Right.
Yeah, who's like really down on his luck.
He's just real grizzled, just real tired of it.
Just like, I can't take it anymore, Cynthia. There's too many crimes. All the crimes that I see, blood, gore, just soccer practice.
Me in the audience with my program, like, this guy's looking rough. This guy is he's
like
really committed.
A little stipple.
A little smudgy.
Yeah. I remember being in high school theater and I remember people being mad, like that certain people didn't get roles, and it was like it's the 80-year-old narrator.
It's intense.
There's only so many people that can, again, as a 10th grader, pull that off, and then also that, like, beyond just that specific sphere, I guess college is included, no one's ever going to cast you as an 80-year-old narrator unless you're at least 60 years old.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not going to happen. So anyway, that's why I like that we just pulled this together. Here's the cardboard sets thing.
I know we do gotta get. Hey, I know we gotta get to our first game, but Britt, I'm also wearing a wrestling shirt. I've worn it. Yeah, I've worn it many times.
Jake the Snake.
Oh wow!
Jake the
crazy!
Snake.
That's. I'm so sorry for just the listeners.
That's the tattoo on my belly button.
He's beating up. He's beating up Jake the Snake on my shirt.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
For those at home, I'm wearing my Andre the Giant shirt. I wear it 3 times a week. My best friend's sister got it for me on my 25th birthday or 26th birthday, something like that. I've worn it almost every day since then. And that's what I'm talking about.
That's awesome. I got this. This was given to me by Jake the Snake's son.
Oh, shit. That's way cooler.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
I mean, how did you encounter Jake the Snake's son?
Yeah, right. No, so I was, I know I know y'all have a plan, but
we have a plan. I'm very curious about Jake the Snake.
Dude, we don't give a fuck about the plan.
I was a bartender in Nashville on downtown Broadway, and I swear it was like a packed brunch day. And I saw a dude in a Jake the Snake shirt, and I used to usually always have like action figures with me just to like ham it up. And I was like, Ric Flair's the best wrestler. He's like, Jake the Snake's the best wrestler. I'm like, Ric Flair. And then he's like, well, Jake the Snake's my dad. And I was like, okay, never mind.
Fine. Yeah.
Wait a second.
And then he was super sweet. He like mailed me this shirt, like a signed copy.
Oh, wow.
Of his,
wow.
Resurrection of Jake the Snake.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker of a documentary.
Yeah.
So he just walked in and just shouted Jake the Snake's the best wrestler at you?
No, I think he was commenting on your Ric Flair.
I started calling him out, and then
because he had a Jake the Snake shirt on.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if we could all have shirts for our dads?
Oh, dude.
Oh
man, yeah.
Just whatever.
I would never be able to find mine.
Boom, baby. Well, that's the end of that joke. You can't wear a plumbing shirt.
I'm not gonna top that. Yeah.
But then I'd have a second one that's a button up for my stepdad.
Nice. Pocket protector, real fucking loser. Sticks around and everything. Just a nice guy, pays the bills.
Yes.
Hate him.
It's like, it's like you always hate that nice stepdad. But I also feel like stepdads get a bad rap in movies. Like it's always just super like you wonder how it could have gotten worse after their first dad left, and then the mom's like, the first alcoholic, abusive guy.
No,
that's how it is in movies. That's how it is
in movies, right?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what the bad rap.
Yes, he's really my dad. Yeah.
I think it's a combo in movies. I think it's, yes, of course, it's the worst person you could possibly choose for the character of stepdad. But I think it's also like, i.e. the Santa Claus. It's also
like the Ned Flanders-esque.
Yeah, like a genuinely like caring man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess I'm just thinking of Radio Flyer. That old movie about that super abusive guy. Sorry, I shouldn't have framed all stepdads as just the stepdad from Radio.
Well, if it's a drama, yeah, for sure, bad guy. And if it's a comedy, it's just a well-meaning individual who's just trying his best, Fair point. And like, is it Man of the House with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, where he goes on a road trip with Chevy Chase, who's his well-meaning dad, or stepdad? Is that what it is? And he's just trying to
I didn't see that. I didn't see that one.
So,
well, spoiler alert. They're both the men of the house.
Oh shit.
Wow.
All right.
By the time it's all over, they find understanding, out in the woods or wherever they go.
Right.
We should get into our first segment. We are going to jump in right now and stop this man of the house jibba jabba. Britt, the first segment we do on every podcast is a segment we call Fuck This Place, ? Where we decide if we would work somewhere or not. And you are from the Sacramento area, correct? But not quite.
Yes.
Sac? Yeah. Where specifically again?
I grew up in El Dorado Hills, and my first job was in Folsom.
Got it. So, so what we have done is we have pulled some Sacramento area Craigslist posts. I've got 3 titles to the posts. I'm going to read all 3. You're going to pick the one you for sure don't want to click on, and then we'll look at the other 2 and decide if we would work there or, fuck this place. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Cool. Okay. Title number 1 is I need someone for miscellaneous computer issues. A lot of qualifiers in there. Post number 2, and I should note this is in all caps. Looking for DJ for very small wedding.
Ooh.
Okay. And then post number 3. This is bookended by emojis. I will describe the emojis in a moment, but the text reads, "You are better than flipping burgers!" ! And on either side of the thing, it bookended by the woman working with a wrench emoji. Yeah, I didn't know that was an emoji until I saw this post. Well, I should note that one woman. You know what? Well, if we get there, we can talk more about these emojis. Which one is an obvious no? I need the miscellaneous computer work, the DJ for the small wedding, or the beer better than flipping burgers.
Yeah. Number 1 for me is F that place. Like it's too desperate. Yeah. And I'm really scared of what is on their computer. Yeah,
it could be a virus. It could be anything. Or just be one picture that I don't want to see. So that's a no. So, I think we're going to go straight into you are better than flipping burgers because, well, we got to describe these emojis. So right at the top here, I just think it's really important to note that there's 2 emojis. They're the same emoji, but one is the blackest you can make an emoji, and the other is like Simpsons
the
color,
yellowest.
Yellowest.
And I don't know why you just didn't do 2 Simpsons, or 2.
Yeah. There's like a white lady though emoji like that. She's got like brown hair.
That's
right?
correct.
It's multiple. Weird that he went.
We've all seen the Drake album title or album art.
Yeah, and it's like he went with the black lady. So that's fine. Why did you go with then an alien?
That's what I mean. Is like pick another race. Pick. If you want to say you're pro diversity, then have multiple races, right? Instead of the Simpsons and the blackest person.
A Lego person.
It feels a little token, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But then again, this person's also insulting you right away. So anyway, the title is "You Are Better Than Flipping Burgers," and we'll get into the ad text. There is no picture, and the text begins, and it says, "Don't think that since you have no skills," wow, really driving the knife in, "you have to work at a fast food place. You just have to be at the right place at the right time."
Wow.
Challenge yourself with something unique, something that has purpose, something that I haven't actually told you what it is yet, something that can possibly be one of the best experiences of your life.
Is something like mushrooms?
Could be mushrooms. Yeah, we are aiming for the clouds here. And we do not know what the clouds are. Could be noxious fumes. Then this person continues, "My name is Jim." Okay. "And I own a microscopic shop in West Sacramento called Eve's Automotive."
What?
Microscopic. If you had just said shop, if you just say I own a shop in West Sacramento called Eve's Automotive, I would be like, okay, it's an auto shop, right? But the fact that you said microscopic and then automotive, hard to say. Maybe we'll find out.
I'll be damned if the best experience of my life is like changing out air filters.
Right. Or maybe
old Toyota.
Maybe he's a mechanic for Lego cars, and that's why it's the yellow woman.
Okay, yeah, that's possible. Yeah, very Lego.
Great. That better fucking be it. That better fucking be it.
We're doing a big stretch, but I'm optimistic. This person continues and says, "Right now, I am the only one here." It's just I'm alone. I've had to turn away.
Alone.
Screaming from the void. Yeah. Right now, I haven't spoke to someone in weeks. And the person continues, "I've had to turn away work several times, and I don't like to do that. Hence this help wanted ad."
Oh, wow. It's coming together.
Hence, indeed. Too much for one man to handle.
Wow.
One man named Jim. Okay. And then the post continues, "We are looking for a few people that can help me with the day-to-day operations." Okay. Maybe we're getting into like actually what happens here. A little typing, a little filing, cleaning, customer service, and maybe get parts once in a while. Okay. "You will also help me do small repairs." I would microscopic in some cases.
Right.
English and math skills have to be at least a high school level, which it seems like you're just negging me, dude. if I'm working at a fast food place, that you assume these things about me.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet if you sprung some multiplication on this guy, he's not exactly killing it right out of the gate.
It's possible. That's possible. Or he's super good, like annoyingly good, so that you're never going to be able to catch up to this fucking Jim. Be fantastic if you knew another language, but definitely not a deal breaker if you don't. I would bet, I would say in general, it's fantastic if you know another language,
Right.
Microscopic, automotive or not. I think it's fantastic. If you know French, that's fantastic to me. It is somewhat physical. You will have to be able to lift 35 pounds periodically. Must have a clean, current California driver's license. Must have a positive attitude. Must be punctual. These seem like regular job postings.
Right.
Things. We are a drug-free facility that adheres to federal law. Way to lay down the hammer there. $15 an hour. $15 an hour. Hours will be Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Okay, specific numbers here. Not great numbers, but specific. The skills learned by working here will carry on for the rest of your life, which I'm going to be, look, if I'm flipping burgers right now, I can say the same shit about that place.
Right.
By the way. And then, and then Jim really drives the knife in, just says, prove yourself.
Prove yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prove yourself. Enter in the Mortal Kombat tournament. Then come to my micro auto shop and show me what you're made of.
Live to tell the tale. Yeah. Fight a dragon. And
I'll
then
be sitting at the top of a mountain on a throne wearing a skull as a crown.
Yeah, prove yourself.
Yeah, if you can do pre-calc, you can find me.
Yeah.
Prove it. Help me grow my business. With a little luck and a lot of hard work, the world can be your oyster.
Oh, he's poetic.
Yeah, poetic and a little demeaning. Then Jim continues and finishes with, think you're ready for a change, ? Then come by, drop off your resume and let's talk. And then we're located at Duluth Street in West Sacramento. And then compensation box reiterates $15 an hour. And it says full-time, but this person did not mention any kind of benefits or anything. I think they just mean a lot of time. And that's the post.
Dude, I hate this guy. This is such a fast fuck this play. He just sounds like he's going to be such an asshole to work with. Just the worst. And just the way he talks to no one on the internet. Can't imagine what it's going to be like on like a hot NorCal day in your tiny auto shop. Just
the tiniest,
just the smallest one. How do you both?
You got a pair of the tiniest little fucking tweezers.
I hope his auto shop is just like he just shows up at like a car wash. I mean,
I hope his auto shop is in his car. Like he just carries it around with him. And he goes around. And
I was gonna hope that he was gonna test you when you prove yourself. That he makes you play like Operation or something.
Oh, that'd be
just no buzzers, buddy.
Steady hand.
As long as you can deliver out of this guy, you'll be fine. I think that for sure a fuck this place. It's the pep talks that I'm not looking forward to, because this person is going to tell you did a bad job, which people who pay you probably should at certain points say, hey, this was not what I wanted. Right. But then this guy's going to follow up with like, this isn't what I wanted. And I just want you to know you're better than that, Nick.
Yeah. Like you feel like his like hot breath on your neck and telling you to like step up or whatever, just playing old Clint Eastwood.
And you should be grateful for this life-changing opportunity.
Yeah.
So I provided the opportunities, Nick. I provided them. It's not my fault.
It's just
take advantage.
Yeah, it's not my fault that I paid $15 an hour and yell at you every minute of every day. We're gonna say no. I think we could all just universally. We're going to cross it off the list. Fuck this place.
Man, remember when he opens with talking shit about people who flip burgers?
I think, we should, before we finally pass on this place, I think the fact this person is willing to use that cliche specifically says to me that you have no respect for anybody, like maybe someone flipping burgers is actually having a tough time. Maybe
no one's like going to school to do that. Like, it's like you're either falling on hard times or are a literal child. doing that job. So it's not
well, and also like there's tons of other shitty jobs, you know, like the fact that you are saying flipping burgers only, and that's your only fucking example also says to me that you don't understand that like there's tons of other not enjoyable occupations, you know, like you just opened like the boomer recipe book, which is just like, how do I talk shit on someone's life path?
Right.
And like, oh, well, I go to McDonald's every day and I hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
that's what I was thinking.
right,
There's no way this guy isn't frequenting a burger place, and this isn't a specific slight at one like 19-year-old he doesn't like.
One person at a Wendy's who just will not give him extra nugs.
Yeah,
it's because he's an asshole, and they would give him extra nuggets if he was cool, but he's not
cool.
All right, so definitively we're moving on.
Definitively.
Okay, next post is all caps. Looking for DJ for very small wedding. Okay.
I love how everything's very small, microscopic wedding.
You know, it's we're not in the macro here. We're in the micro. We just need a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's the Craigslist way. You know, what if I just ask for the tiniest thing that ends up being a life commitment and or a cult that we've joined? Okay, so the text begins. Looking for a DJ for November 7th evening.
I'm free then. Yeah.
All right. Same. I mean, you know, I can't say anything on the schedule right now.
You guys trying to go to this wedding or?
Yeah. Let's just go to the wedding. Forget about being the DJ. It is a quickly thrown together event due to one of the parents being recently diagnosed with cancer. That's sad. Man,
that is a bummer.
Wow.
That is
a
sad.
Bummer.
I would need, you know, and in some ways, I kind of respect the fact, before we get into what they ask of other people, that they are trying to do the full deal. Because like I could see how other people might say, hey, we have this, like, I would guess a terminal diagnosis. Let's just go to justice of the peace. Let's just kind of get this done in like kind of, but it's clear that they're trying to pull off several of the stops. Maybe not all the stops, but they're trying. So
I like to think too that there's some part of him, like he's as soon as he finds out about this terrible diagnosis, he's immediately like, I need a DJ.
You know,
I need to get married. They weren't even dating somebody.
Yeah. I need to find somebody. I need to get engaged and get married, and then I need someone to blast the electric slide.
Right. And he was saying stuff. They were still in the hospital, so he was saying stuff like stat. Like, I need a DJ. Stat. You get it. You know what I mean?
You get it. We're in a hospital. There are bigger concerns right now, Philip. So the post continues. I would need 3 to 4 hours max, which that sounds to me like a DJ gig.
Right.
We're looking to pay $50 an hour. I don't know what DJ rates are, but that doesn't seem wildly off the mark. You know, if this is 25 an hour, it would be an obvious no. Okay. Then it says you need your own equipment, good selection of wide variety of music, and a karaoke setup.
Nice.
Yeah. We don't need anything fancy, just the basics, which I'm going to say that once you veer into karaoke setup, we're moving past the basics.
I agree. I love karaoke, but I don't think I've ever seen karaoke at a wedding. That sounds like a hot mess.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I think like anything that distracts from the bride and groom is going to be a nightmare. It's not going to play. It's not going to work. This is the one day. This is their day. That's
a really rock solid point there.
You know, someone's going to go off script and just start a speech and crying into the
microphone. I hate that.
Oh
man, that is my biggest pet peeve with weddings is the speeches are never about the couple. It's always about the hardest time that like the bridesmaid had in her life. And it's like a 25-minute story about her ex-boyfriend.
Who was an alcoholic.
That ends with, she goes, and Mariah was there for me for it.
Aaron,
you're so lucky to have her in your life. All right, you guys have a good night. It's like, holy fuck. Like,
So I was addicted to heroin for 9 years. That's the way it starts.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah,
you guys just described every speech I've ever done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's hard. I do think the instinct there is to lay the foundation for something real, you know, and so you got to talk a little bit about what you got going on.
Just not too real.
Well, you know, and also just the length of time, I think, is another, you know, like I was addicted to heroin for 9 years. I went to rehab. Britt was there for me. I came out of rehab. Britt was there for me. I went into rehab 7 more times, everybody. And, you know what I mean? That's when I think we're devolving into, is this about the couple, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I wish I could redo my sister's wedding because pretty much my mom took the microphone from me as I was sobbing.
Oh man,
amazing!
That's pretty.
So then imagine that. Yeah, that's amazing. So imagine that plus karaoke. You know,
karaoke.
Like theoretically, you were doing that speech at the soberest you were gonna be in the course of that evening, right?
Right.
So can you imagine then? It's like, it's a Brit speech.
3 hours later.
But now imagine Shania Twain's "Man, I Feel Like."
Right. What's the one like the carve my name into his legacy? Like it's just like a revenge, that revenge country song. And the point is, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the
Carrie
Underwood.
Yeah.
It's just like you give that crying speech, Britt, and then immediately get in line for karaoke after to do that song.
Just ask them to play it over and over again.
Mm-hmm. I'm just imagining someone who like requested "Who Let the Dogs Out," you know,
right?
And they get it started, and then they go into the speech. So the music just carries underneath them,
right?
Like, and it's just that little like that steel drum, like ding, 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 ding. And they're just like, and Mike, man, you know, fucking, he helped me when my dad died.
Yeah, it's like, and then
I just wish the best for you guys, and let's do another shot.
Yeah, and the DJ is just like, all right, next up we have the maid of honor. She's gonna do Landslide, the Smashing Pumpkins version.
So again, maybe this isn't the actual couple. Maybe this is a representative, right? This is a best man or someone,
right?
So who knows absolutely nothing about what they want, which is even scarier. So the karaoke setup, huge red flag for what they think should happen at a wedding, and also the fact that their concept for what's fancy and what's not, just the basics. Again, I'm flabbergasted here. We don't need anything fancy. Okay, fine. You contradicted yourself. Then you double down on, look, I just want the basics.
Basics, yeah.
But the basics to every wedding, a variety of music, karaoke setup, inflatable toys,
a photo booth.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so and then the post finishes with, please message me with your contact number, your experience, and maybe a sample of past work. What? I hope that means a photo. Like, what are you you're like gonna do someone that like, oh, here's the transition I would do between Toxic and James Brown, Get Up Off of That Thing. You just feel the difference between these two. I don't know what the sample is, but I would hope photos. Thank you. And then compensation reiterates $50 an hour. And that's the post.
I feel like, I'm with you, Chase. I don't really know like rates for DJs, but I feel as though I wouldn't do this for $50 an hour if you then made me throw in a karaoke setup, because that's so much hosting.
It's so much hosting and so much personality management. I mean, as a DJ, you got to do that anyway. But if it's karaoke, you got people who are, they're like, you have an extra songbook, or like, hey, do you have this song by the whatever? And you're like, it's in the fucking book. There's that. Plus there's, plus there's just people that are like, is it my turn yet? You're like, listen, this person's doing No Doubts. I'm Not a Girl next. Okay. So just fucking sit down and listen. And then we are going to get to your Toby Keith and Faith Evans fucking duet song. What's that one that's like, I don't think that's the same song, but it's some typical emotion. Man, this kiss is that this?
This kiss. Yeah.
It's subliminal. Anyway, that's what I'm saying is I don't want to manage all of the competing personalities. Like one person's just going to do turn down for what, and they're just going to yell turn down for what.
Right. I just say the story real quick. I emceed a few weddings in my life, and
I have been forced into that role as well.
Dude, it's not easy. But I say I emceed one of my very best friends in the whole world's wedding, and I just
the reception. You're talking about the reception.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
no one respects me for the ceremony, but the reception, oh boy, pass it off to Chase.
Dude,
go ahead, Nick.
And like 11 minutes in, I was in a dance battle with another guy at the wedding because like I felt like I had to say yes to everything. Like, I'm emceeing, I'm so fun, keeping it like lively. And someone had spilled something on the dance floor, and I slipped and knocked myself out. And I was unconscious. And I used to tell this story on stage, but like I popped right back up and then just started dancing again, because in my head I fell and then just got like, I just fell and I was like, whoops, slip. Yeah. And then like, he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, why? And he was like,
you're out cold for 40 minutes.
Yeah. He was like, you're on the ground for a while. I was just like,
wait. Do they leave you there?
Well, I don't know. But like in the bit, I say that they were all just doing like, just clapping in beat over me. Like, wait, like I was going to do a move, you know? But and the thing is, I wasn't even doing karaoke. That was just me guiding people to their tables and then talking about the father-daughter
just be like, and here's the happy couple.
Yeah, exactly. And I was unconscious for doing that.
So you could be, by the time the karaoke is even halfway through, you could be dead.
Yeah.
Or taken hostage in the back of a van somewhere.
Oh, dude, kidnapped by terrorists.
Or on way too much cocaine, you know, because someone's like, oh, you're the fun guy. Come on. You know, he's OD'd. He OD'd just because he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. Doesn't want to say no, you know, and it turns out there was meth in there. So
I guess that's why I'm not DJing this way. In another life, I would, just because I have I agree, MC'd, so I would do this, but probably not today.
But I would like to, you know, speak directly to this person who's assuredly not listening to this podcast, but anybody who's considering just the basics. DJ, you know, you could just make a playlist on your phone and play that. And like, I guarantee you, as long as you don't suck absolute ass at picking songs, like it's going to be fine.
Well, I think, but here's just, because I think you're right, but here's my problem with that is that I think when you're dancing, in order to kind of keep the vibes going, it is best to play about 3/4 of a song and then blend it into another song.
I mean, you're okay. That's a solid
point. Instead of a sunrise, sunset every time.
That's that's getting fancy though. That's already too much for this.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I think if you're asking for a DJ, that is the literal basics of being a DJ. If you're asking for just the basics, that's the basics. Is can you transition songs, right?
Right.
That's the basics. So karaoke, good selection of what I understand. I also do not understand the good selection of wide variety of music is like, bro, there's the internet now. Like all DJs have everything at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and if they don't, then you definitely shouldn't hire them. Right. So
just showing up with like CDs and he's like real sweaty from his big binder of CDs.
How much Bush do you guys want to play?
Right. Just early 2000s rock specific DJ.
Man. Is this my wedding? What is this?
I mean, how about you guys think about the first and fourth Rage Against the Machine album? Cover to cover. I mean,
hope you guys like the battle.
You guys
of
like Hinder?
What's that one song?
Just some fucking Evanescence.
I was trying to think of that. There's that one song by that, like, that I think it's called Headstrong. That like Headstrong with Paintball Dong.
Yeah. What'd you say? Headstrong by Paintball Dong?
I didn't say that, but I do like Headstrong my Paintball Dong. Okay, all right. So no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, I'm out. What do you?
No, you guys. I'm free that night. I might do it.
You gonna do it? You're in. All right.
Yeah.
Do you think, Britt? Do you think there's a likelihood that you can maybe talk this person down to the actual basics?
Right. It would just be me on my phone, playing from my Spotify. Yeah.
Do you think you could talk him down to that, or at least close to that?
Is there a phone number? Should I do this?
Two-stepping the whole time you're doing it?
Yeah.
I think the reply button is just an email. We'll find out real quick.
Let's see here.
He just wants you to show a randomized email. Well, maybe
we'll get sample past work.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that there are not going to be a lot of people knocking on this door. So I think that, Britt, if you want the job, it's all yours. Past work is I'm a good time. Okay. So
I'm a great hang. I don't know what you want.
Just show them this.
Like movie quotes, you know, I do some of those sometimes. Okay. So not entirely fuck this place. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470-BAD-JOBS. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird like temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
You want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470 bad jobs.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
Britt, what is the first job you ever had?
The first job I ever had was working as an office assistant for Folsom Physical Therapy in Folsom, California.
Folsom Physical Therapy.
Yeah. It's like just like a mile and a half down from Folsom Prison.
A more familiar name.
No,
Johnny Cash songs about the physical therapy.
No.
You know,
he drove by it every day.
He never did one live performance.
He's just there and someone's just working out their calf muscle. You know?
He's like, oh, it really burns, but a good kind of burn. You know, you gotta break up that tissue.
Yeah.
I pulled a calf in Reno real bad.
Yeah, I pulled a calf in Reno.
Yeah.
So, how old were you?
I was 18.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
How did you get in? This is a very specific job, you know?
Yeah.
You're not, let's say, flipping burgers. So how did you get into this thing?
Yeah, it was my soccer coach kind of reached out to me. I didn't know what I wanted to do like after high school, where I first went to Chico State to be a saxophone performance major.
Okay.
And then my family was like, you know, that's not reliable. And
that's not good. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And I started finding stand up, and I was like, I'll show you reliable.
I'll show you fucking chaos.
Yeah, I'm going to take this Lisa Simpson bit to the next level.
And so then I had moved back home, and I just like started taking classes at like the community college, and he reached out to me, and he's like, I think you'd really like, you know, the physical therapy field.
And you clearly played soccer, right?
Yeah.
So you're familiar with like people have to do things with their bodies. You're not, you know what I mean? You weren't just like a nerd. I mean, nerds can be physical therapists too, but
yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
But what I'm saying is like
jury's still out.
A person who's played soccer has probably dealt with some degree of injury before, you know, or at the very least has witnessed other people go through that process.
Yeah, not like those nerds. It's I sprained my wrist taking my math notes. You know, like
yeah, fuck these nerds.
Wait, what were you guys?
Okay,
you had theater. Were you guys band, jock? If we're gonna be cliche, what's your role?
I was in theater.
Oh,
theater.
Yeah.
Theater too.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
I wasn't a nerd. I was just a loser, you know?
Yeah, I wasn't
difference,
smart enough or athletic enough for the other two.
Yeah, correct.
So I was like, I can pretend with the best of them.
I had a bunch of white guy friends that did cross country, but that was just because you didn't have to.
Oh yeah. No,
you didn't have to try out
like
for cross
the
country.
nerdiest jocks. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. yeah, absolutely true. Yeah. And really, like the ones in my school were really good, except for
and they're
friends.
like arrogant about it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did cross country.
I never get tired.
649 mile this morning.
All right.
You ran a 649 mile this morning?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's wild.
If I did that, both my legs would explode. If I tried that.
Yeah, I'm usually in the 11-minute category. You know, just really letting it fly.
Oh man, I should time my mile.
I have not timed
I
a mile.
know it's my own sick thing. I want to break a 6-minute mile. And so
okay.
That's not sick. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I broke a 6-minute mile like as a sophomore in high school. And I think I was being chased by a dog. It's like, it's not like you're even honorable, really.
Yeah. And you skinned your knee at the very end because you made that mile and you collapsed.
Just kind of vaguely wiping my tears. I threw up after running a half a mile in high school once.
Okay.
I was just like,
going too hard.
I was running as fast as I could. And just
no one tells you that in high school that you
don't
have to go that
that's
hard.
what all the coaches used to say. They're like, I want you to run so hard you vomit at the end. That's what our coaches would say.
Yeah, that seems like a bad thing to say to a child.
Right. Yeah. Because
I certainly hope they don't say that to children all the time now. I'm sure that there, you know, for some athletes, you know, especially the ones that lead that explosive energy. Yeah, there are times where you really should be pushing it to that, you know, like body limit, but that shouldn't be all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
It can't be throwing up every day.
Yeah. I
develop bulimia from cross country.
Yeah, just from doing sprints. That doesn't sound good.
Okay.
So your cross country coach reached out to you and was just like, hey, I know you're in town and you're probably like trying to do a little rebuilding.
I got spoiled at my first job because I know that this podcast is F this place, but I got spoiled. Like, it's so funny too, of like, especially working in California, it was very like make sure after every 6 hours you get a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
You want to take an hour for lunch. And then it's funny because then I lived in Nashville for 6 years.
They don't give a fuck about you.
No. They're like, you're going to be on your feet for
face.
18 hours. And if you take a break, you're getting cut from the tips.
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah, they don't give a shit. They're just like, do we take breaks here? I mean, you can go
only
smoke.
if you smoke cigarettes.
Correct.
And then you can anytime.
Yeah.
Right,
Yep. I gotta take a smoke break. It's the only way. It's the only way you get out. It's the only way.
The cigarette's saving my life.
Yeah. From doing sprints in the bar until I throw up.
Exactly.
So your coach reached out to you and you were like, that sounds great. And then you applied and
I worked there for 6 years too.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I loved it. It was such a like family place where we had just like people from like, say like athletes rehabbing injuries. And then also a lot of like, there would be this like, cause they would also have a workout gym and there would just be this like crew of regulars who would just like all come in. It was like cheers, but like
for hurt people.
Yeah. And they're
cheers for hurt people.
Were the regulars, had they once done rehab or they were just like, no, we just come to this gym?
Usually like a lot of people with like chronic back pain. So they would like exercises to like keep,
the chronic back pain. Cheers.
Yeah. But I will say every once in a while we'd get someone super rude at the front desk and we'd always have like them fill out a body chart. And I swear every time they were really mean, they always had pain in their ass. Like literally.
Oh,
I got a lot of ass pain and sort of pain in my, or maybe it's in your, I don't know, but there's a pain.
Exactly. It was like, never mind, go easy on them. Like they would circle the body. And then if it was just like, okay.
There's like thunderbolts at their butt.
There's a Venn diagram. It just always includes one butt cheek at least.
You're like, all right, just be nice to them.
Wait, so you had a lot of people come in that had ass pain?
Yeah, it's pretty common.
Really? Wow. Is
that an older person thing?
Yeah, I think typically, yeah.
They just been sitting down too fast for years and years.
Yeah. Is it like, is it
sit down a lot of fire hydrants? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, just the wrong benches, buddy. That's not where you sit.
It's just like the physical therapist, like, oh, this is a nasty case of this. I've seen this before.
You've been sitting on those weird spiky things they put up when they don't want people to lay down.
Okay. So what were your responsibilities there besides checking in people with nasty ass pain?
It was, so I worked mostly as an office assistant. Like a lot of people who work there, like ended up going to school for physical therapy,
right,
but I could just tell, I started to get into comedy in Sacramento and then that like just took all my time. But, we would check in patients. Oh, we'd call insurance. Oh my gosh.
Oh, is that a nightmare?
It's a nightmare.
That doesn't sound good.
Which then, I don't know if we talk about later jobs, but
we will.
The pandemic. Okay. I ended up working for a health insurance company.
Nice.
Recently.
Both sides of the coin.
Exactly.
Right. Just enough to become the villain.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we'd have to verify people's insurance and coverage. And it was just like sometimes such a nightmare to get like authorization for something.
Just to get a simple yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Real heel turn for you.
It truly was. I became the bad guy.
Yeah. No is the answer. I picked up the phone and I just said no. All right, goodbye. Or didn't even answer in the first place. It was
like a Trojan horse situation, though. I tried to do my best I could from the belly,
from the inside.
Right. Yeah. Try to take them down from the inside. I respect that.
So you had so it sounds like you had a pretty legit job. I mean, like calling insurance companies, like that. Yeah. People are relying on you for that to happen.
And we'd have to get like authorizations for people's treatment, clean up the gym, inflate gym balls.
Oh, those gym balls they need the air.
But mostly I loved my first like boss was the office manager. Her name was Darlene Berger.
Darlene Berger.
Oh, shout outs to Darlene.
I gotta reconnect with her soon. And she was just like my like job mom. And so we would just always get to talk and she would always tell me, like, keep me updated on news stories, but they were always like the most tragic ones, like about kidnappings.
Yeah. You said Darlene? Is that her name?
Darlene, yeah.
Yeah, Darlene watched a lot of local news, is my guess. Yeah, like, you know that 10 people were, there was a 10 car pileup and everybody lived, but then a murderer came and stabbed everyone in their cars. And that's just Tuesday.
It's during the Casey Anthony. She would just keep me updated on everything. Yeah.
Well, in some sense, kind of a best case scenario for the worst news you can get is because Darlene really feels like she's providing you with a service, you know, and you don't care either way, but you can tell that it matters to her, right? And so it's also conversation that you don't have to generate, you know.
Right. So in between like calling insurance and checking people, she'd be like, do you know that girl was found who was kidnapped in Lake Tahoe in 1998?
Okay, so real true crime nut.
Right. You're just like stacking very light medicine balls. Come on, Darlene. Can you just help me with the medicine balls?
I'm just like stretching those like stretchy band things.
He had 8 people in his basement. How are you doing?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so she was your work mom and also cautioned you against the ways of the world. You know?
Oh, so true. Yeah, I know every way I could be kidnapped and how to prevent it.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, mostly on highways. Seems like.
And then like the back of a parking lot. It's always like the further back you are. Yeah.
Right. That's a good point.
Right. Yeah, you can't trust the back of a parking lot. Yeah.
You can't. You know, it's even if it's well lit, I guess.
Okay.
Too easy for cars to pick you up really fast.
Dude.
I don't know.
I believe it happens. I just don't know how. But
yeah.
Okay, so you got Darlene in there chiming in your ear about all kinds of sad stuff. But like, what about who else you got? Who else is in there? You have any other weird coworkers?
Ooh. No, I wish I had my friend Jay, who she's now a physical therapist in Hawaii.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Level up.
And she was so fun. So we were like wild child. So it's like, so we started going out and then like coming to work the next day hungover or like needing to take a nap in the back like massage room table.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're just resting your calf on one of those little firm balls just to let the juice out.
Sleeping on a pile of yoga mats. Just like hogging up all the supplies.
We need this for the next client. So you all kind of like formed a like, we're the young people at this place. Let's fucking hang.
Yeah. We would go out. And then I remember her showing me like she was still wearing her like fishnet stockings from the night before.
Okay, wearing under the scrubs
slacks.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah. And then this person moved to Hawaii, so they really wanted to keep the party going.
Yes, she's so much fun. Yeah, I went with her. She's Filipino, and I went with her. I think her family's from Fresno. And my only ever time I've enjoyed a stripper was with her family, with all of her like Filipino aunts, just like going nuts from this
for like a dude stripper.
Yeah, dude stripper.
Nice in Fresno.
Yeah. In Fresno.
Oh, Fresno dude stripper.
Fresno, nice. capital of the world. A good time dude strippers. I think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Certainly good time dude strippers you didn't anticipate were going to be a good time. I wouldn't think I'd be having a good time.
Just having a great time.
Dude,
yeah.
Lumpia is so fucking good.
So good.
Okay, so this sounds like a good crew. So when someone comes in with ass pain, do they tell you like directly, or like you said they have to circle the thing, and then is it like a thing where you just kind of go like you give them like a wink, like, oh, okay.
So in the ass area,
like we can get you in a room. You don't have to sit down. Like
okay.
Roger's in with a number 7, guys. You start trying to keep it like a little code word.
Yeah, because they have the HIPAA law too, like protecting.
Right,
people.
You don't want to tell people about their business.
Yeah, we can talk, just no names. Yeah.
What do you do for physical therapy for ass pain?
That's a great question.
There's different kinds, I guess, as I'm a medical professional. After
you were once a medical professional.
You're better than us. I'll believe it. You tell me.
There are times I would like do ultrasounds on people in TENS units and.
Okay. All right. They sent you off to like a military hospital to set people's legs and stuff.
Exactly. I've amputated so many legs.
It was the Civil War.
I was just saying.
It usually be something of like either sometimes I feel like it's like physical pain is like a combination of like physical and then also like mental, like physiological. So like some people, it might have been like a lower back pain, and that's where like it's like triggering down. Or there's other people too. We had like a pelvic floor specialist who would do like kind of more in-depth like new age
stuff.
Yeah.
Like Reiki or whatever.
New age. Whoa.
Like new age, like helping
you guys
women.
talking about
like,
magic?
We're talking about we're talking about mages.
Magic to fix your butthole?
More
talking
like
about
wizards.
private parts, physical therapy.
Oh, well, I must have blacked out for like a second. I came back.
Oh, we're talking about private parts? We're talking about
I didn't know I'd
giblets?
be talking about this part. Yeah.
Well, okay, so hold on a second. This person, you said they were a pelvic specialist. So they're just trying to give people boners or something?
Yeah.
Like,
what does the pelvic specialist look like? Just leather jacket? What are they
the coolest doctor?
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
He's coming in like, hey, babe. And like the sunglasses come down just a little bit so you can see his eyes and they come back up.
Yeah. Yo, Mr. Stevens.
He's like the Fonz.
Got a jacket over his shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah. And the weight of, and he doesn't have a jukebox, but whenever the fax machine's broken, he just like hits it real hard and it works again. And he goes like, that's how we do it. Sexiest style. All right, Mrs. Lorraine. I'll see you in the back.
That'd be wild. Like whatever the events are in your life that force you to be like, I'm going to be a pelvic specialist at a physical therapist. Like,
it's super needed. Yeah.
I believe it. But I imagine it's also not as easy as me and Chase are making it out to be, because me and Chase will make it out to be really easy. Right into the, like we were saying with magic and stuff. But what do you think that life is like to get to where you're like, this is my destiny?
For often too, it would be like helping, say like women like postpartum, like after pregnancy. But we did have, I think as long as I don't remember his name, but there was a patient who would send harassing emails.
That doesn't sound so good.
Where
to the Fonz.
He kept wanting appointments and mentioned his like fleshlight and like
okay.
Okay.
All right.
He's like, hey,
can I get an appointment today immediately?
My fleshlight is full of dust.
Do you have any openings? Because
he like hurt himself with his fleshlight? Is that what you're saying? Oh, possibly. Man, injured by fleshlight.
Yeah, I just looked at I just Googled a list of like what a pelvic. This is pelvic floor physical therapist.
It's littered with fleshlight injuries.
It's just only fleshlight injuries.
It's a great niche.
Yeah, it was like pain during urination, urine like leakage, painful bowels, pain during or after sex. So like I think it's just anything in that area, which that area is at least 20%. Yeah, that area is at least 20% like sexy stuff, and then there's also just some function stuff, right?
Yeah. And then like, and 20% of that sex stuff is all 19% of having sex with a flashlight. So.
Yeah, that's correct.
No shame. That's just the fact.
Just that person emailing too much. Well, that's wild. So again, that person's just no eye contact, always in the office. It's like, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Today was harrowing for me. I'm so glad you get to stack those fucking balls. I don't want to see another ball in my goddamn life.
So that's wild.
Well, how big is this office? It sure seems like there's quite a lot of
it sounds like a full basketball.
You got a gym.
It was a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Maybe one of the biggest ones in the area.
Perhaps. This is being back. You can keep this in or not, but like being back in Sacramento, I'm having like memories come up. And actually, I remember too, I was jogging by Giovanni's Pizzeria the other day after working there. I think I was like trying to get into like more flexibility stuff, especially with like comedy. And I remember literally this came up in the interview because my friend worked there and she was always like really fun and fast with one-liners. So I was like, all right, I'm going to be zesty.
I'm going to be that.
Interview. She was like, yeah, they ask unconventional questions. Like, if you were a Disney character, what would you be?
Fuck that shit. But okay.
Dude, so cool and edgy.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'll be fun. So in the job interview, I was asked, can you multitask? And the first thing that came to my mind was I said, oh, yeah, I can. Once I was so sick off of my Aunt Peggy's eggs from food poisoning, I used the bathroom from vomiting and diarrhea at the same time.
Multitasking.
And then I just remember, And I remember being like, oh, never mind. Actually, my current job, I answer the phone. I greet patients.
Yeah. That wasn't the zesty answer.
Oh my God. They didn't hire me, but I think it had to do with like availability or something.
Yeah, I would.
Like they
there's
were
no way that it wasn't that you told them that you could shit and throw up at the same time.
That you could shit in the bathtub and throw up in the toilet.
Yeah. I didn't eat eggs
the wrong order
after that.
Yeah, you did not get that job. Okay, so you worked at this first job for 6 years. What made you stop working there?
Well, I ended up moving to Chicago to study improv comedy.
Okay.
But even when I was working there for a while too, I was a nanny, and then I also I was working at a restaurant too.
Okay, so you were hustling in a variety of directions. So it wasn't like you had a big breakup, when it was done.
No, it was sweet. Actually, they threw me a huge dinner party.
A dinner party. These sound like nice people.
They were so nice. I love them. They were just my like adopted dads.
Just all dads. It's like 10 dads.
Even the Filipino lady, dads.
Yeah, she's my dad.
But yeah, they were so sweet. Like, I would like pet sit and house sit for like the regular gym goers. And they threw me a big party before I moved to Chicago with my best friend to study comedy. They threw me a big dinner party and got me this like little piggy bank and like put a bunch of money in it. And like everyone had like speeches. It was so sweet.
Wow. It sounds like I've never seen a single episode of Gilmore Girls, but this sounds like an episode of Gilmore Girls. Like it's like I'm off to the big city.
I know. And then it was humbling coming back because my pursuit of comedy has just like tanked. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You start out big with like big dreams and goals and say it out loud.
I'll be headline touring in 2 years. No problem.
Right.
Give me on Conan. I'm doing it.
Yeah. And it's been
Fast
humbling.
Forward 2 years later, shot himself in the head. Did not go the way he thought.
Yeah. Just hanging by a thread here.
Yeah.
So it's always hard to come back.
Right.
It's always hard to come back. Okay. Are you good, Chase?
I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Okay, Britt, that was your first job ever. What would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
Well, then, as we said, doing the heel turn was working for a health insurance company during a pandemic.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time.
Right.
Because everyone's always having their favorite thing is to call a health insurance company.
Oh boy. Yeah. So I would assume you were just like working remote or something and just like picking up the phone.
So at the start of the pandemic, I moved back home. So I was living with my parents.
Yeah.
After like working a cool rock and roll job where I worked in a vintage clothing store.
Yeah.
Like I got to be myself, help style like touring musicians. Like people came in all the
time. And like in Nashville, right? Where like a lot of people come, for that.
Donald Glover would come in, Miley Cyrus.
All right.
You guys might get mad. The lead singer, James Hetfield of Metallica, came in.
All right.
But we didn't know it was him till after.
Oh, I don't give a shit about Metallica.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't care about that. I mean,
if it's not Hinder, I don't
respect
care.
to him.
It's not that one gal from Evanescence.
Yeah.
I don't know if
it's not Shinedown. I don't care.
Yeah, Shinedown.
Man, you got those names.
The guy from Stained.
I listened to 98.5 Rock in Sacramento.
Right. Oh, dude. Shout out to that station.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got a DJ for that radio station fucked me out of so much money. Like,
was it Dogface?
No, it was Artie.
Artie,
he was the morning guy. Yeah.
I was really expecting a weirder name than Artie.
I know.
After I heard Dogface.
Dogface, I thought was cool. Is he suck? Oh man.
No, he's cool. But when I was working in Folsom at the restaurant, I remember once he came in, and it's one of those things too when you're younger and you're like so starstruck because you've never met like a celebrity before.
Yeah.
So he was like my first celebrity was, I was waiting on him.
Dogface.
And I was like, are you Dogface?
Yeah.
He had this like low, scratchy voice. And I remember he just was like, yeah. And like, to me, it was like, what a celebrity. And he was just like too cool.
Right.
Fucking Dogface.
It's fucking Dogface. All right. So continue.
So I'm moved back home, living with my parents, and I was like, well, I need health insurance in a pandemic, and
you sure do.
I get a job working as customer service And so it's like remote. So at least I'm like not putting my family at risk. And I'm like, okay, it's good. I have insurance.
How early on in the pandemic are you? Is this like March, June?
This was, I think I got hired in June and then started in like
so pretty
September.
early.
Yeah. So, gosh, so like trained remote, the whole headset, just sexy situation going on, you know?
Yeah. Right, Love a headset, you know? Yeah. You're real sweaty in the ears. Can't not like, really.
Gosh,
that fake leather right against, you know, if it gets old enough, it'll just peel right off and stick on your ears. Right. I've worn out a pair of headphones before. Sorry, carry on. So you're wearing the headphones, you're training remote.
And like, I remember the first phone call I had was just like, the person was so distraught. They had like a check written out to their like newborn baby and they couldn't cash it. And like, so it's like each problem you get, you would have to follow these like documents, but you had to first like verify their like privacy and then get permission. And then because it's in the baby's name, you have to get authorization, but the parents aren't on file. So they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like my baby can't give me authorization to talk, but we're like, well, they're the primary holder on the policy.
You have like 16 documents to just like triage them. And every document, the title is how to fuck this person over and not give them insurance coverage. Part 16 or part 15 or whatever.
Oh, so I'm panicking and you can't place them on hold. So you're just like, just a minute. And you're researching like these.
You're like just Googling their name.
So I remember it was just so scary. And then there'd be weird things like a woman once I had to help deal with her hospital claims. She had given birth to 2 newborns. Get this, one baby of twins. One baby was named Anne, the ANN. The other baby's name was Anne, ANNE.
That's so fucking stupid.
What the fuck? That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
So
who is this lady? Get her on the line.
Yeah, get her. Let's call her.
And then one was nicknamed Annie. So it was literally like the worst, like who's on first, what's on second situation of like newborn.
You didn't anticipate this nightmare for yourself?
Yeah, you're doing a bit involving
for the rest of these children's lives.
Yeah, I can't believe they had to come up with the nickname for one of them immediately.
Which fucking one is Anne?
It was terrible. Newborns are covered for like the first month, but because they already thought that it was only one baby, it was so terrible. And like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been actually in a mix-up. Just getting names wrong it can be for everything. Like I got hit by a car riding a bike in 2010, and
Chase is a fucking man, dude.
Thank you so much. My first name is not Chase. Chase is my middle name. My first name is Andrew, and for some reason, somehow in the process, like 2 roads diverged, you know, because I actually talked to the guy who hit me was like probably the nicest guy to hit you ever. You know, like cool. He gave me his insurance information. He's like, I'm at fault, like whatever we got to do, you know.
He just left the card like in your bike helmet, like
like I'm on the pavement just twitching.
I do this all the time. Like
he just puts it in my mouth. He's like, here, bite on this. I will. Just give me a call whenever you need me. But like, just 2 roads diverged. And like at a certain point, I would get mail for both of them and I would get calls for Chase and I would get a call for Andrew. And like, I would pick up and be like, I am Andrew and Chase. Have you never heard of people's names before? Fucking look at my social security number, you goddamn idiot. Anyway.
And I'd be on the other line of that phone call, being like,
yeah. And of course, I never said those things. I just said like, hello, I'm Andrew. I'm Andrew and I'm Chase. Please, correct whatever you have to correct. And like, absolutely, will do, sir. And then the mail continued.
In their defense, though, the first time I found out your real name was Andrew, though, I freaked out. I don't.
Yeah, 2 days. We didn't, he didn't say a word to anybody. Nick just walked around.
Way quiet, just walking around.
In silence.
Just walking around.
They found him in Canada.
I mean, just wandering naked in the woods in the forest like Wolverine.
Andrew, his name's Andrew.
I was in the hospital when I was like 17, and this is not like an insurance thing really, but just made me like think of like weird follies when you're hurt. And we can cut this out of the pod too.
No, we're keeping it.
While I was unconscious, they got my charts mixed up with the guy who had the bed before me. So,
and his leg is amputated.
And so, but he had some kind of problem with his right. I cut my finger. That's why I was.
That's right.
His right wrist, so he couldn't get an IV. So they put it in my left. But that it has nothing to do with what I don't. But I only think that because I wonder if whoever did it was better at going into the right hand because they missed my vein in my left wrist, and I woke up in the hospital with a gigantic hand.
Like a balloon hand?
Like a baseball mitt, because fluid had just gone in, and I remember like being hazy and like trying to like lift my heavy ass hand. You know? It was like a sci-fi movie where I woke up and I was like, what have you done to me?
Yeah. You got like a claw that like shoots the laser.
Villain origin story.
Yeah. And I was just like waving. It's like whoosh, whoosh. I was waving my giant hand.
I do think, Nick, that your story, my story, and consequentially also, Britt, your story of switching to these two roles is actually very emblematic of a theory that a running theory that we have on this podcast, which is almost every business is inches away from chaos at all times. And the only thing that's holding it together is half well-meaning people.
Yes.
Like it's crazy that you had to call these insurances. I mean, you're just like, at the first job, and she's like, why are these fucking people giving me a hard time? And like, well, you know what? It's okay. Like, they're probably just trying their best. And then you're like putting on, then you're like flash forward, putting on the headset. You're like, I'm just trying my best. It's just what I'm doing today,
Exactly.
And it's like, it's just me. I'm yelling at me my whole life. It's got to be a deeper meaning there.
Really?
But please carry on. So you have the headset.
Oh.
And you're triaging just problem after problem with
it could be any range of why they're calling. They might just want to be paying a bill, or it might be like just like disputing hospital bills. Or I didn't have this call, but we'd all have like a live chat with each other, pretty much just like, help.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah.
And like someone had a call where a person gave birth once again to twins, but they were Siamese twins. And it was like, do the babies have one insurance policy or two? And
okay. Yeah. Like, very solid question. I would say two is my guess.
Yeah.
What was the answer?
They ended up doing research where I think it was two. Okay. I feel like it's whatever costs more. Cause it's like,
right.
We found out.
I was going to say two, because if they get separated or something, you would want.
We found out that in California, if there are Siamese twins and say, if they get a driver's license, they have to have two separate driver's license. But if they're teachers, they're paid one salary. So it was
fuck.
And that's so fucked up.
That's such so
interesting. Game. So like we all have to do this like research of like, what would it be? And it's just fascinating.
And the answer, I think, you illuminated it very well. The answer is whatever costs more. Exactly. That's what we're doing for you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me take a quick look at that. Oh yeah, whatever's more that you can give me is what we'll do. So let's do that.
Also, what a game. Searching, like looking up when a Siamese person counts as one person or two. What a game.
And who are you on chat with? A bunch of coworkers or supervisors or everybody?
Yeah, both. We would have like levels of escalation chats. So it'd be like first it'd be like your team, and then there would be like, if it's still in panic mode, you go to the next level, supervisors, or we'd have a helpline. And so it's like, it was interesting too, because you'd start forming friendships, but I never got to meet anyone because it was all remote. Yeah. And so sometimes you get the helpline with someone really helpful, and then other times someone would be like cold-hearted, be like,
of course. Like, yeah. Who the helpline is the own insurance helpline?
Yeah. So,
but is it an internal one?
Yeah, it'd be internal. So it's like, if you just maxed out on your own research and we're like, whew,
I got nothing.
You'd be like, okay, I'm going to put you on hold and I have to ask for help. But you'd have to pass a series of levels of like, what documents did you read? You'd have to like type it out.
You got to prove that
you're like live
exhausted all
with
research.
The person trying to research and then type in, and you had to prove, like you had a template you'd have to fill out of like, I already researched this document. This is the,
And then what's fucking so brutal is that you're working in a call center, remote, but yes, in a call center. Then you got to call somebody else who's also doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They're also you, right? It's like a house of mirrors.
It was painful. And
like the other person's like, God, this better not be some fucking buddy calling me with a question about whether or not Siamese twins are paid as one lifeguard or two lifeguards.
It's always more.
It's always whatever's more.
They just answer. It's like an IT department. Like, have you tried turning it on and off? It's just the answer with like, have you tried just charging them more or whatever?
Exactly. No.
That's my solution.
I've thought of too of like just like making my own business of calling insurance for people, because I feel like I've learned a little bit of ins and outs, and like we would have a stipend of like what we could excuse for people's bills, and I would max it out anytime. As a little communist working, I was just like, yeah, you misunderstood your benefits. Don't worry. Okay, I got you. And people would even be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
And you're like, listen, well, you're talking to Britt. Britt. If I call you in a year, I need a fucking favor.
I'm going to leave an X on the mailbox outside your house. Okay.
You come find me the train tracks around the corner. I will be there.
That's when the time has come.
I'm on the run from the insurance companies.
Yes.
So you're every day, you're putting the headphones in, you're hopping on your like internal chats. How often do you have to escalate the chat, to the supervisor or the supervisor level?
Pretty often, because like most of the time if someone's calling insurance, they
need something bad.
Fun.
Yeah.
They want something done immediately.
Yeah, something's gone very sour.
And they obviously record everything, and then we also have to log each call.
Yeah.
And so we weren't allowed to say like if someone was abusive. The language you would learn or use was caller is very concerned.
This caller's got a pain in their ass.
They are very concerned about it.
And so other people would read like, concerned. So this person is going to scream at me.
Yeah. And you would sometimes look at like the notes of their calls previously and you'd be like, this dude called 8 times today. And you just
so concerned.
Yeah.
He was concerned 8 times on the phone.
So mad because he refused to pay online or over the phone. So he'd always write checks. And like during a pandemic, the mail is a lot slower now.
Way slow.
And so he would be so mad that he got, say he like wrote a check on like the 23rd, but it wasn't cashed by the company till like the 2nd. And they automatically send out late notices if they don't get it by the 1st.
Right.
So there's no late
that it's
so
coming.
He was so pissed that he got a late notice. And I was like, well, there's no fee. I was like, you can write, you can pay online or over the phone. And he was just like, only checks. And then I was like, well, you can look up your bill online and write a check early, if you want to write it early in the month. But I think he just was like so angry about something that just
absolutely not.
Right.
Yeah, this had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
The broken person who's, just ready to yell.
Oh no, he was very concerned, but it helped.
I see.
Before I got that job, my cousin gave me a book by Chris Voss called Never Split the Difference. And it was written by an FBI negotiator. It's a great book.
All right.
So I'm so glad I had prepped in with that book beforehand to just be like, it's not about me. How do I get them to like the goal at the end?
Okay.
Beforehand.
So it sounds like you had a pretty healthy mentality around a terrible job.
But I still had times though, like afterwards was like, I need to go on a run. And was just shaking.
Yeah. I mean, to be on the phone for what 8 hours?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long fucking time to do only one thing.
Every minute.
Yes.
So it's like.
Yeah, it ain't 7 hours and 59 minutes. It's 8 fucking hours.
Jeez.
Yes.
So how long did you last?
I lasted like 9 months. That's
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good hang.
I quit before I was like either they're gonna listen to enough of my phone calls and know I'm a little communist, or I bounce now.
Yeah. Again, you're gonna call in all those favors. First, you're headed to to like Idaho, and then you're headed to North Dakota. You're gonna make your way into Ontario eventually. You're on the run.
The little communists.
Even I think most people just like don't show up anymore, because even my supervisor was like, well, I really appreciate you putting in 2 weeks, because I think people are just like, F this, I'm out.
Absolutely. And they don't deserve any more than that, and it's nice that you gave it to them. But
like, most of our communists just cut and run.
Look, most of our communists don't even, they try to give themselves like a 10-minute head start before we hunt them down. But you are telling us when the start line starts. You're one
of the good communists. We like you.
Right. Or a socialist. I'm a socialist.
Sure. We're gonna go with the short range rifle for you.
I still get a beret though. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a beret. Oh yeah, you're gonna get a beret, of course. Yeah, you get a black turtleneck, right. But they're coming. Yeah. So did they ever notice? Did they ever speak about your maxed out allotment?
No, luckily not. Yeah.
Okay.
But I would seriously, if you guys need help calling your insurance, like just call. Like
yeah, let's talk through just a couple of quick tips here.
Yes. Okay. So I would say
number one, never get sick in America or hurt.
Okay.
Please don't do that.
Sick America.
Yeah. Never need anything from anybody. Okay.
Never
go ahead.
Anything from anybody.
Yeah. If your leg is broken in the woods, you actually are in the best case scenario when you think about it.
Case scenario.
That guy, 127-hour guy. Best case scenario.
Slowly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Britt.
I would say if you have like a family plan, just say you're the person who's a subscriber. Just like
who's the main person?
Yeah, because otherwise it's
are you the whatever holder? Like the card holder or the account holder?
Just be like,
just say that you are that person, and they won't check on it.
Yes, I am Frank Hammer. Like even
Got
if,
it.
you know what I mean? Like
yes,
Frank.
Yes, my name is Cynthia Downshaw.
Yep. Because we're taught not to question or as long as you can prove like date of birth, policy number, and the name.
Sure. Okay.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to call them, get a verbal authorization for all of these things.
Yeah. Got it. So yeah, first rebuttal is going to be that you are that person. That's your first like stoplight.
You are Frank Hammer.
Yeah, I'm Frank Hammer.
Say I am Frank Hammer.
Yeah.
Got it.
Doesn't matter what your name is.
Just say, use the terms. Well, one, if you do need to speak to a supervisor, just say, I want to escalate this call. Use the word escalate.
Escalate. Okay. Wow. All right. Escalate.
Yeah. Frank Hammer's escalating.
Yes.
I need to escalate this call.
If you get a no from someone, maybe try calling again.
Oh, now that is, I would say the number one call center tip of all time is no matter if you're calling somewhere, for the most part, almost even a small doctor's office, but definitely like a place that's got, like agents that are just call again.
Call again.
Like, immediately. You'll get somebody different. Every time to roll the dice. You could get a nice person.
Try to go I tried to help as much as I could. And especially if you have a hospital bill, not a lot of people know that hospital bills now, you'll be charged for the facility and for the physician. So you can call and be like, I misunderstood my benefits. Say that term. I misunderstood my benefits.
Okay.
And you might be able to have something kind of taken off of it.
Okay. All right.
You can only get a certain allowance, but if you kind of do it enough,
Okay. All right. And these are key phrases here.
Yes.
I misunderstood my benefits. I need to escalate this. I am Joseph Hammer or whatever.
Frank Hammer.
Frank Hammer. So sorry. Okay. Yeah. Those are some quick tips.
Yeah.
Did you use those tips when you had to call the helpline?
I did.
You did?
Listen, this is Frank again. Yeah.
Hi there. Listen, it's old Frankie Pie. I just need to escalate this situation real bad.
And also, anytime you call or even get the name of the person who helped you and a reference number is something that I've always learned
name
too.
And a reference number.
Yeah. Because if you're able to say so-and-so promised me the last time we talked, and if their notes are vague enough, you might be able to
right. To deliver on the thing that they said.
Yeah.
Or you could lie about what they said. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a rock solid handful of tips. Okay. So Britt, before we wrap up the podcast, we always ask 3 questions to make sure we kind of cover everything for this call insurance thing. When were you done and how did you quit? You did the 2-week notice, but when did you know you needed out?
Oh my God. I mean, immediately the first day I was ready to punch a hole through the computer screen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I held on as long as I could. And pretty much too, after being a bartender for so long, I was like, well, I'm going to go to the dentist. I'm going to get my own physical therapy.
Yeah. You just racked up the insurance. Yeah.
And then I tried to hold on as long as I could. And I took a photo of myself after I quit and finally just celebratory.
Yeah. So then what was the final straw? It was just it's been 9 months. I have seen a dentist. I have a whole new set of teeth. They've rebuilt my legs. They're bionic now. And I think I'm going to be okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your checklist was kind of done.
Right.
Fair. And no one has better insurance than the people who work for insurance companies.
Right. It was great insurance.
I believe it. I mean, it's all they have to give you. It's not a good time. I don't think from the bottom to the top of that company, no one's having a good time, but they can offer you safe harbor for a period of time.
Right. I would recommend too, if anyone has like a chronic illness or something, I was like, get a job working for an insurance company.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another insurance tip from Britt. Mm-hmm. Britt tips. Okay. Question number 2. What is one good thing you would say you took from that bad job?
Ooh, I took that I prioritize being solution oriented.
All right.
Like, it was really challenging for me because like I'm such a people pleaser and like wanted to tap out so many times, but it helped me like just really care about the other person no matter what emotional state they were in, and just be like, how can we both get on, like, I want to help this person to the best solution we can. And like that helped me because it's like
it helped you, just want to clarify, it helped you emotionally or just helped you accomplish the task of
emotionally. I'm a super emotional person. And so it was like, it helped me feel like more of like a leader, I guess. And to gain trust in myself that I could solve, because people would call with the most complicated things and I would just want to tap out, but you can't. Yeah. And so it was like, well, we got to figure this out together.
Yeah. Well, and I hear you on the leader thing in the sense that like, I'm sure that the one of the easy defaults in this position, really any call center position where it's just constant incoming, is I have no control over what's going to happen to me, because there's a pretty big kernel of truth to that, right? Like the calls coming in are only chaos, right? Yeah. But to some degree, what you're saying is like, but I'm going to take this and like put it in kind of like a direction rather than just dissolve under the chaos.
Yeah. And my goal would be sincerely too, to try to help people as much as I could. Like people would call in with like denied claims, and then I would research, say like if there was a lawsuit, and just like help get like their claims re-looked at. So like I would get myself emotionally invested in each person's story. But yeah.
Clarifying question. Did you have homework after those calls were done?
Ooh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I would stress myself out too, because we'd have what we call like open cases. And I would get like, I would get so concerned for people.
You get too connected to the case, like that gritty ninth grade detective.
Yeah.
Right. All the empty Chinese food boxes all over.
Just shots of whiskey. You got those guns and those weird little like little holster things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But they're just computer mouses.
Got a mouse on your ankle, computer mouse on your ankle that you don't tell the chief about.
It's Bluetooth. But oh man, that's just dumb. But yeah, like you got a little invested.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And for the ones you got invested on, eventually they either resolved or they didn't, pretty much. I mean, like,
right.
Yeah.
There'd be ones. Yeah.
I mean, are you like furiously researching in between calls? Like, or are you just sort of occasionally?
That was so hard because you're literally plugged in every second of the time.
Correct.
So
yeah.
While someone's on the phone with you, like that's the only time you can research. Otherwise it's phone. The call's ended, you're getting a new one. So it'd be so hard to ask people to be on the phone. So it's like, but you'd be like, can you stay with me? Like and so it'd be so hard just trying to keep them entertained, but you're literally like multitasking.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense. Like now, I'm remembering like a Spectrum call I had to be on a while back where the person's like, hey, just like stick with me. I'm like, look, I don't care, dude. I have nothing. My internet doesn't work. I have nothing better to do.
And I never knew why the calls take over 40 minutes every time. It's because they literally have to go through a process of researing it.
Yeah. Doesn't sound good. Seems like there could be a better system for that, but who knows? We could, for instance, have people just be insured, but whatever.
I agree. So I would have conversations with that with people about being like, I think healthcare is a human right.
Yeah, this is bullshit, and I know it, and you know it, and we're both on the phone, and as soon as we hang up, guess who else I'm talking to? Somebody else. Okay, well, that's sad. Question number 3 is not related to that bad job. It's just sort of like, we have had a pandemic. A lot of the Etch-a-Sketch has been shaken up. How you doing? New worldviews, new insights. It's open-ended.
Yeah, that's sweet that you ask. surprisingly, I feel like with this, my life definitely changed. I was in Nashville and I moved back home because I grew up in Northern California and I had lived out of state for 9 years. And so I made the choice to come home. I had some like big life changes. One, my best friend Heather Martin passed away.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And surprisingly, I actually had started therapy and I had OCD or have it because it's always there. And I had started like even like exposure therapy like 6 months prior to the pandemic. And thank God, like I'm in recovery from depression and OCD. So strangely, I'm in like a new spring of life. And so I am so grateful because I've been now like recovering relationships with like friends and family. And so it's been, I mean, there's definitely been grief involved in like the choices I've had to make, but yeah, I feel surprisingly the timing of just getting therapy right before the pandemic was just like
yeah, for sure. Good time. If there's ever a good time to get therapy, just a touch before everybody goes on full lockdown. Not a bad time. Well, just out of curiosity, and you can speak to this or not, but like I would imagine that I don't know specifically what your OCD was about, but like I would think that if you had OCD, a pandemic's a real bad time to have it. I mean, it's a bad time to have any sort of mental health thing, but especially if it involves around like cleaning or your own safety, right? That like a pandemic is probably like a perfect storm.
A little bit, yeah. Like I was definitely Lysoling the bottom of my shoes like every day at the start of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great that you asked too, because there's different types.
Yeah.
And so mine was mostly intrusive thoughts, less health. I'm lucky. Like I wasn't even sure too in the talk of this of like my first restaurant job in Folsom was like when my OCD first hit, and it was a little bit contamination based is what they called, where like I was conscious of like anytime my fingers touched a plate and there was mashed potatoes and I had to wash my hands or else I'm a bad person because then I might get the next person sick. And it just
oh wow.
Yeah.
And food service is a great place to really obsess over that.
It was so painful. Oh my God. And it was like morality based too. Like I want to talk more about this in stand up, but like there was like literally like a four staircase in the restaurant, and I would have to walk slowly on it because I was worried my boobs would jiggle, and therefore I was trying to sexually entice everyone in the restaurant. It'd be this like weird morality.
That's a bit much. Yeah, I hear that.
That being
like my huge boobs. They're so huge.
You're just like, I can't because it's just gonna crush in this restaurant. I'm gonna bring the fucking house down with these titties if I just go even a little bit.
Everyone's gonna stop eating their pizookie.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Britt walked down the stairs. 9 divorces broke out as soon as she did,
and everybody left the kitchen, and they're now in the dining room just standing, and I don't know why.
Just standing ovation.
Yeah, but I understand when you're in that world, that feels like a very real like.
I would have to write down like every But so I'm grateful then that, I honestly, though, I feel like a lot of my friends with like high anxiety, which I think is every human,
a lot of people
have been doing okay, at least for the most part. It almost feels like it flip-flopped.
Well, we talked a little bit in previous episodes. I forget who our guest was. We specifically talked to this about. Maybe it was JT Parr, like a while back, but it was sort of like, when everything's going really bad, I think to some degree the people who have anxious tendencies are like, oh, finally, now everybody's on my level, And it's when everything's going good again that it's like, oh boy, what,
I was going to say to your point earlier, also former guest Chris Hayhurst is a guy that we've talked a bunch, one of my oldest friends now. And like what I've learned from him is that he's always been in therapy. He'll tell you himself, he's always, since he's a kid, been in therapy and all this stuff. And I have noticed, and I pointed out to him, I was like, I feel like you've coped with all of this so much better because you've just been armed with these tools for dealing with anxiety, for dealing with like pressure,
for feeling out of control.
Yeah. And like, and he's always just like, yeah, I guess so. Like he just doesn't like,
because he's in the water now.
Yeah, exactly. I just like, he's in this flow state of like a little bit of knowing how to like bob and weave with the punches, how to roll with the punch, and so I 100% believe that like even that little bit right before was enough to kind of get you to help you kick out, so to speak, of the tougher situations. Before we go to
speaking of kicking out,
Britt, hit me with your favorite wrestlers.
All right. My favorite wrestler.
Are we talking current or historic?
Anyway, let that fall where it falls.
Okay, sorry. Historic is Ric Flair. Is that? Trying to make sure that
16-time world champion.
Okay.
Finishing move, the figure 4 leg lock. Ric Flair. Ric Flair is my favorite pro wrestler. I accidentally got into pro wrestling. Wait, I know it's already like, should I keep rolling?
You're fine. Carry on, please.
Okay, so I hated pro wrestling. I remember like my little brother turned it on the TV like once when we were younger, but he grew up in like mostly like household of women. So my sister and I were like, turn that off. We're gonna watch Maury Povich.
Yeah. Which is the
That's
same.
That's a lot like pro wrestling. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, there's a lot of paternity tests in both.
Yes.
Or certainly fights in both.
So I worked as a cocktail waitress at Zany's Comedy Club in Nashville, which was awesome because I got to listen to like stand up for free, shell out fried pickles.
Hell yeah, fried pickles.
And Mick Foley was touring, and I didn't know who he was when I got there, and I was like, oh wait, he's what? And who I now know as Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mankind.
Oh man, she's showing us.
And for those who are just listening, there's a show of action figures here, and I'm not saying you should join us on YouTube every time, but I'm just saying now might be worth a peep.
You're gonna miss the action figure hour if you are not on YouTube. Okay,
so Mick Foley was touring, and then because
I was disgusted, like I was literally handing out fried pickles, like none of you touch me.
Okay.
And then I had a few comic friends at the show, and I was like, oh, you actually like this, like you're eating this up. And my boyfriend at the time, I found out like afterwards, he was so excited and like just started talking wrestling. And to me, it seemed like a foreign language. I was just cracking up at him talking about it. And then around this time too, the WWE network had come out. And so at first I just thought it was funny hearing him talk about it. And I wanted to do something like comedy wise, but I only wanted to make fun of it. Like I didn't respect it. And so I had met with like my other comic friends. I was like, all right, let's make a show. And it didn't really go anywhere. But then my boyfriend or ex-boyfriend started showing me like old promos and clips. And like it's almost like I started just like breaking my curiosity. And really like what put me over the edge was a story of Mae Young giving birth to a hand after body slamming. Just this storyline, I just started being like, oh, it's funny. Like,
yeah,
and
that's
then
definitely an absurd comedy kind of.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, they're in on it. Like, and so I started to like be really curious. And then it just kept like and then from the WWE was just, or the network was just like my homework. Like, because especially pursuing comedy for so long, it was hard for me to watch comedies because my ego was so involved in it.
Yeah.
So it was just such a nice escape to watch just like old WCW clips. I fell in love with Bobby Heenan. Like,
oh, dude, just the king, Bobby Heenan. So funny, so funny.
The Weasel.
The Weasel, such a funny character.
Yeah. And so I started learning more about it, and then I loved it as an escape. And I was like, wait, so they're athletes, they're campy, you know, the costumes, the pageantry. And then it is true story. Like then I started getting involved in feminism and pro wrestling, and I just literally saw so many similarities. And then I ended up like announcing for a few like independent pro wrestling events.
Tight.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I love Andy Kaufman was always like a comedic influence for me. Right. And I never understood the wrestling. So then like the more I respected it, and I got to announce at the Nashville Fairgrounds where he and Jerry Lawler had like one of their epic fights. And like to me, that was just like so historical in this like tiny low ceilinged venue.
Yeah.
You guys might like this though. Once I was announcing, and right before the show, one of the producers pulled me aside. And she was like, for this show, Brittany, how about we keep it at a 6? And I was like, you mean like a 6 out of 10? She's like, yeah. And I was like, wait, am I too much? Am I too much for pro wrestling? Like, where you have like a man from the dead fighting like the IRS taxman, and I'm too much?
That's hilarious. I've been told to tone it down at many jobs that I've had.
You've been told it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jim Cornette.
Yes.
Oh my God, he's so angry.
I also have Stone Cold's knee brace, but I don't know where Stone Cold is.
All right. Well, he's naked wherever
he's
he is.
rehabbing probably. Well, that's wild. Yeah, just a hoot. Britt, where can people find you on the internet if you'd like to be found?
Yes. Okay. Well, you can find me at my Instagram, which is at Britt_Birrer. BEER, like my father, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hey, that's my dad.
That's your dad, actually. My uncle.
Yeah.
Or also on TikTok. I just started a TikTok. So if you want to watch my journey, it's at Bridges Booth.
Got it. And we'll put links to both of those in the show notes.
Perfect.
Britt, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a wild ride.
Yes, thank you. Fuck this place.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you had a good time, don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast, leave a review, 5 stars, 4 stars. You can give less stars, but don't do that. I mean, you can, but just text us. You know, it's 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. You can just let it out, you know? Get mean. We're here for you. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.